Believe me, I've done some really weird things in the name of health. Probably could do a whole video just on that. Hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Ariel and I am a holistic wellness coach. I'm on a journey to live life well and just be the best version of myself that I can be. So I welcome you to my channel, and if you've been here before, I'm so happy to have you back. I know it's really been a while. I've been just diving really deep into my own wellness journey over the last year or so. I've been kind of in hibernation mode, just focusing on me and going really deep within. And I think that's necessary sometimes for our own well-being. Sometimes we just need to, take a step back and refocus and reassess. And I just feel like that's completely okay. So if that's you right now, I completely feel you. And just do you and do what feels good for you right now. But eventually, you do have to come out of hibernation, and so I'm really excited to be back filming and to share some of my experiences and discoveries with you. So I thought I would kick things off by discussing a few tips for anybody that is embarking on or in the midst of their own wellness journey. And I know that looks really different for everybody. Maybe your motivation is weight loss or healing from a particular condition or mental health related or something else entirely. But whatever your journey looks like, I think these tips will be really helpful and hopefully give you some encouragement along the way. The first piece of advice that I want to give is to let it be a journey. And I know that might sound pretty obvious, but I do think that we start out thinking that if I follow a certain formula, like eat ABC food and do XYZ workout, then I'm going to become that perfectly healed, thin, radiant, calm person that we're envisioning, and it's going to take like maybe 4 to 6 months. Well, that's not how things have been for me, and I don't think other people have found that to be the case either, especially those who are trying to make a lasting change and not just have a quick fix. It's taken me a lot of experimentation and trial and error and mistakes and discoveries to really figure out what works for me. And honestly, I'm still figuring it out. There's so much more that I still have to learn. And like I said, it is a journey. Prepare yourself for the ups and downs because it's not just going to be a perfectly straight line to optimal health. And open yourself up to the process, and you'll be really surprised how everything unfolds, how much you learn about health, about your body, about yourself as a whole. It can be a really beautiful process if you allow it to be. When I look back just a few years ago, I feel like I'm a completely different person in so many ways, but I'm just saying be patient, try to make it a fun and enjoyable process in whatever way you can, because it might be a little bit longer than you expect, but it's completely and totally worth it. My next tip is to remember that wellness isn't one size fits all. Nothing is universal, and there's really no one right way to go about things. For example, I know people who are thriving on a vegan diet, and I also know people who have never felt better than being on a carnivore diet, and that's two complete opposite ends of the dietary spectrum. Also have known people that swear by CrossFit and really intense workouts, and other people who do best and feel their best doing yoga and Pilates. So there's really no one right way to be healthy. We're all so different, and you really just have to figure out what works for you. And that takes some trial and error and an open mind. You might have to get out of your comfort zone. Believe me, I've done some really weird things in the name of health. Probably could do a whole video just on that. But some things resonated and I put them in my toolbox, and I still do them to this day, and other things are just a interesting experiment. But don't try anything like crazy or unsafe. But if something piques your interest, even if it's a little unconventional, give it a try. I mean, do your research, but give it a try. And that leads me to my next tip, which is to listen to your body. I think that's so incredibly important because I believe that our bodies are talking to us through our physical and mental symptoms that we experience. We just have to tune in and pay attention. Personally, I was extremely disconnected from my body, and I think a lot of us are because we're hustling and on the go and have so much on our plate that it's really easy to just not notice what's going on with us. It isn't until something really major happens that we are forced to listen. So as you're exploring new habits and making changes, try to pay attention to how you're feeling and how your body's responding. One thing that helped me a lot with this was tracking. I had a kind of spreadsheet or chart where I would track my meals and workouts and other self-care habits that I was doing, and then also different symptoms, physical and mental, that I was experiencing. And that really helped me to pay attention and notice the patterns and just how I was feeling overall, and it helped me to kind of reconnect to my body and begin to notice subtle changes. So that's one thing that you can do to help if you're like me, really disconnected and just find it really hard to notice those types of things. My next tip is for you to take a holistic approach. Don't solely focus on the physical. And I know that's how a lot of us start. It's kind of the gateway into health and wellness. And the same is true for me. I started out working out and tracking macros and calories and all of that. But over time, I've realized that there's just so much more to wellness than just how much I'm eating and how I'm working out. Things like quality nutrition, sleep, mental health, stress management, spirituality, self-care, all of that plays a role, and it's equally important in my opinion. And I also believe, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I believe that if you want to change the physical, then you have to go within and address the psychological. It might sound a little bit out there, but this is actually widely studied with things like the gut-brain axis, the effects of chronic stress on physical health. Like when you're stressed out or anxious or worried all the time, that's not just mentally exhausting, it actually has a pretty major effect on your overall health. It's taxing on the body and it can lead to so many things: chronic illnesses, weight gain, hormone imbalance, weakened immune system, skin issues, so many things. The list goes on and on. With how stress can impact your physical body. So make sure you're factoring these other things in. It's not just about diet and exercise. And last but not least, get support when you need it. If you're spinning your wheels and you're not making the progress that you hope to see, you might need to reach out and get some support. And that can come in different forms. It could be a person, like maybe a medical professional, a therapist, a coach, even a friend or family member as an accountability partner can be really helpful. It can also be a course or a book or an article or something like that. Whatever resonates with you. Remember, you don't know what you don't know. So seeking out support could really open your eyes to new ways of doing things, and it could catapult your growth and progress. Well, these are my tips for you. I kept it pretty broad because I know everyone's journey is going to be pretty unique, but I hope these were helpful and encouraging for you. Just remember to be gentle and give yourself grace as you go along this journey. And I'm right there with you. I'm still on my journey as well. I would love to know your thoughts on these, and if you have any to add to this list, I'd love to hear it. Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for being here. Sending love, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.